Welcome to Associated University's video seminar on equipment asset lists. My name is Carl Nunn and I'm a fleet analyst manager at Associated. I have over 30 years of experience that started as a field technician. I've worked as a retail service manager for 8 years and I was a national service manager for 2 OEMs. Our subject is equipment and asset lists, and its definition as we describe it is, an equipment list is typically defined as a table of key data fields that fully describe key aspects and information relating to your organization's assets. This information can be contained in a database or a spreadsheet. Why is an equipment list important? It forms not only a reference source, but also a framework from which many of your fleet management reports and strategies are built. Fleet managed rotation strategies, usage and age reports, cost per hour reports, vendor mix and utilization reports all begin with a complete and accurate equipment list. Software choice needs to be made early on, whether the data is going to be stored in a database or a spreadsheet. Databases that you might choose to use are Microsoft Access, SAP, MySQL, or Open Office Base. The pros of a database is they're designed for data storage, retrieval and sorting and reporting. Cons, though, can be the setup of the database and the learning curve for not only yourself, but perhaps support personnel that's going to be using the equipment list in the future. Spreadsheets also make a good source for retaining the data. Choices include Excel, OpenOffice Calc, and many others on the market today. Some of the pros include most modern spreadsheets are easy to use and have many database elements available to them. And often office personnel are well versed in these spreadsheets. Cons include the fact that they're not easily automated for reporting purposes the way databases are. Once you choose which software product you're going to use to house your data, you need to choose which fields and categories you're going to put into your asset list. Some suggestions are truck-related data as a category, location-related data for the equipment, warranty-related data, service provider data, and ownership data. Let's take a closer look at the truck-related data. An often forgotten field under this category is type. Some examples are shown on the screen. Pallet rider, reach, sit-down electric become important when your fleet is mixed. For instance, if you have Crown reach trucks, Raymond reach trucks, and Hyster reach trucks, it's often difficult to create a report around those trucks when you want to see all the reach trucks. If you include a field called type and give each one the reach truck designation, it's easy to filter and create reports with your data. Make is pretty standard in most fleet reports, and that's the manufacturer's name. Model, please include the full model number that's found on the truck's serial plate. The reason I say that is often there is information in that model number that would be helpful to you in the future. Collecting it in the beginning will save you countless hours in the future finding that data. Lift heights, collapsed heights, capacities usually are found in most modern model numbers by most manufacturers today. The serial number is, again, we're requesting that you use the full serial number found on the serial number plate. Most modern trucks have other designations in their model number that often includes, for instance, the year of manufacture of the vehicle. For instance, Raymond's. The center two numbers in the serial number reflect the year of manufacture. Hyster and Yale use a letter designate at the end of their serial number that can be easily translated into a year of manufacture. If you have any questions on this, call your service provider or call the dealership that you purchased the truck from that can help you with this. The customer unit number is the number that you've put together for your equipment that identifies it uniquely to your operation. It's typically the number that you understand the truck to be. Starting hour meter is important, especially when the trucks are used, because it tells you how many hours were on the vehicle at the time of purchase. When the trucks are new, they might come to you with 100 hours on them as well. It's important to get that recorded when you acquire the equipment so you know where you started from and how many hours you put on the vehicle. Truck year, we talked a little bit about that in the serial numbers. The year of manufacture is very important when you're putting together age reports for your equipment. And as trucks get older, they require more maintenance, and that age becomes more significant as your fleet ages, or if you're looking to rotate your fleet to have an average age. Some optional considerations are mast lift and collapse height, or attachments that are placed on the vehicle. A location category has 3 critical pieces of information, but if you have more, please include them. Facility, for instance, division, address, building number. Department, if appropriate, for instance, production, warehouse, dock, or yard. And if the truck is tied to a particular shift, first, second, or third, perhaps a mid-shift, you can include that as well. Warranty-related category includes installation date, and that's the date the unit arrived at the facility, typically the warranty start date for the vehicle. Warranty period, it's important to catalog this now. It's available to you with your materials that the selling dealer provided you. Length and coverage of warranty, whether it's 90 days, all 1 year, major components, extended warranty, again, the same similar information. Service provider data. The name of the service provider, their phone number, what the SM rate they quoted you is, and whether it's a hourly or a flat rate cost. The FM frequency, whether you do it based on recommended number of hours between SMs or how many months between the SMs. It's important to capture that now. Labor rate, along with any negotiated discounts. Travel rate, whether it's a flat rate or if it's a fixed amount of time to arrive at the location. A parts discount rate, if they provided one. Full maintenance start date, end date, and monthly amount if you've decided on a full maintenance agreement that allows you to cover all the maintenance costs in a given month. Ownership data category is the purchase date, the purchase amount, your depreciation method, whether it's straight line, 5 years, or accelerated. You often can get this from your accounting department and is important when you start calculating economic points of recovery. The retired date of the vehicle and the salvage method, whether you traded in, scrapped, or parted it out, and salvage value, what you've got out of it. These are all important when you are looking to get that economic point of recovery, and we often recommend that you keep this equipment on your list as retired. You can filter it out and see only the active trucks, but then you have a history of what you purchased, how much they cost you, and it makes your future buying decisions much more informed. One thing to consider on data field choices, the categories and data fields used in your equipment list should be determined by your organization's needs. And these were just some suggestions to include in your equipment list. But definitely pick the ones that you feel that you need to see in your equipment list. Some examples of some reports put together with an equipment list are shown on the screen. This one is sorted by the type, age, make, and serial number. As you can see, we use the year of manufacture and the installation date to determine the age of the vehicles. We have the type, make, model, serial, the customer unit number. We've included the power, their location, the department the trucks are in, the install date, the year of manufacture, and the annual usage and percent utilization were determined based on hour meter readings that were posted against the equipment list. This is the same report sorted in a different fashion. This one is done by location, department, type, and age. So now you can see what the fleets look like at a particular location if they're not all housed in the same building. The third report we're showing you is just a quick table that shows the breakout of the number of serial numbers by year of manufacture. And this gives you a quick view of the age of your fleet and which trucks you should consider rotating at the next purchase cycle. The graph below puts things in perspective and gives you a percentage as well. Associated University was designed to provide you with education and information to keep your supply chain running smoothly. Associated University was designed to provide supply chain management professionals with access to information on practical solutions concerning the industry's current hot topics. With live, frequently held educational sessions hosted by supply chain thought leaders, this resource creates an interactive community that enables professionals to gain access to information covering today's most relevant supply chain management challenges and technologies. In addition to these sessions, Associated University offers tools, articles, and discussions aimed at providing you with a vast library of resources to utilize. To learn more about Associated University and Associated's other solutions, visit our website at www.associated-solutions.com. I want to thank you for joining us today, and if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to contact us. Have a good day.